Of all the emotions we deal with in life, the one that's the most costly, the most challenging, and also the most rewarding, even if we halfway get it right, is anger. So the question is, what do you do when you get upset? Do you let it control your life? Do you let it consume you? Does it cause you to make decisions that you end up later regretting? That's why this episode is so important. And we're pulling one from the archives to give you 4 tools to manage anger.
Hey, we're Britt and Chris Carmichael, and you're listening to the Elevated Life podcast. Throughout the 13 years we've been together, we've never ceased in our endless quest to better ourselves.
We've studied top experts, philosophers, and gurus. After years of personal self-experimentation, we found the tools for shifting your beliefs, moving through fears, and developing a positive mindset.
If you're ready for a breakthrough, then you're in the right place, because we're here to empower you to take control of your life with simple mindset shifts that create radical transformation.
We'll be diving into topics like personal growth, health, philosophy, spirituality, relationships, success, and mindfulness.
So create some space for yourself and get comfy. It's time to become the badass you were born to be. Hey everyone, Britt and Chris Carmichael here, bringing you the Elevated Life series, where we teach you simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. Today's topic is 4 tools for managing anger, because we all know we can get pissed off in a hot second. So these 4 tools are going to help you to calm that anger when it arises. But also take note that anger is important. It's a really good sign that something is unfair, so it's trying to get your attention. But we don't want it to consume you. So we're going to share how you can manage that anger.
Yeah, this was inspired by someone watching us last week. She asked this question, how do I stop, or how do I prevent an angry mind? And it's funny to think about it, because your mind is not angry. It's been programmed that way. Your mind is only a tool for you to use to make your life better. The problem is we don't always know, and we're not always taught how to make that into something that really helps us. How do we make it so that it builds us up, keeps us relaxed, keeps us going after our goals and dreams, keeps us just on that kind of right path for us? So remember that anger is a learned process. It is a specific patterns of thoughts into a specific action. And so if you can pause, if you can recognize the fact that you're getting angry and triggered by specific events, and you notice that when you get stressed, that anger or that emotion comes out as anger, you can stop it before it ever actually happens. So always really be aware, rather than having to actually deal with the anger, start dealing with your stresses first. Notice when it comes up, you go, oh my God, this always just pisses me off. Are you continuously doing that to yourself? So find the stress, and that will lead you to the anger.
So I want to take a moment to tune in to you and see, do you have any unresolved anger or resentment that is arising in you now? I mean, it is a retrograde period, so all kinds of old emotions and past baggage are coming up to be released so that you can move forward and rewrite your future without all of this baggage and resentment. It's really the most freedom. It feels like freedom whenever you can let go of that anger, that resentment, and find that forgiveness in all of the things, right? So these 4 tools are going to help you to manage that anger. So do you have anger arising now? Because this will help you to release it. The other question that I want to know is, where are you from? We have so many amazing elevators joining us from all over the globe. Take a moment to tune in. For those of you watching live, let us know where you're from. And if you're watching the replay, then also let us know you're here. Thank you so much, and let's get started.
Yeah, the first thing really is to begin to respond instead of react. Remember, our mind is always trying to protect us, and so what we have to do is get into a mode where we realize we're not going into the fear-based. Reactions come from fear, and responding comes from love. And the way that you do this is that as soon as you notice yourself go into that, where you take on all that anger and are super pissed off, pause for just a moment. That pause alone, as simple as it sounds, is enough to get you out of that mind framework. So take 1 or 2 really nice big breaths and just go for it. But do it from a place of love. Do it from a place of responding.
Mm-hmm. So we have a comment here that says, harassment is an example of something that gets me angry. Now here's something, I don't even think we planned on talking about this, but you bring up a really good point. Now there are going to be very common triggers for a lot of people, like harassment or, hurting children or animals or things like that, that trigger anger in us. And that is so normal for, being a loving being. And of course it's going to upset our souls, but it's what we do with that anger. What I ask my spirit guides this question, how can I maintain love in a world full of this like crime and hatred and racism and just all this crazy shit going on? And their message was so loud and clear. They said, anger breeds anger. And so, yes, there are things like harassment and child abuse and things like that are going to trigger rage and anger, but that is only going to create more of it. So we have to find a way to overcome and still choose love. And that is exactly why we're here with these 4 tips on how to manage that anger when it arises, because there's a lot of things that can trigger that. Remember, anger is a symbol and a sign for something that is unfair.
Yeah, I think that's really important what you said, because one of the tricks for really doing this, during that pause moment, see if you can swap places with the other person. And that will get you out of your thinking mind into what in the world are they dealing with? Like, what would it take for a person to go through in their life to make this action, to say this thing to me, or to do that thing? And a lot of times that will build so much more empathy. We get this resentment built up whenever we feel anger about something. And a lot of times as we switch places with that other person, we'll understand them more. And that gives us the opportunity to come from that place of love so that they're feeling something different. Because you notice it, if you get angry at a person that's angry, it just breeds more, just like BRIT said. And you just pour that gasoline on that fire and suddenly you've got a bigger problem. And a lot of times if you can pause and say something with that love, it'll distill that person down. It'll take them down a couple notches, allow them to relax, and allow them to say, oh my gosh, this person understands me and they see where I'm coming from. It's a totally different mindset. So make sure you're taking that pause.
Oh my God, it feels so good. So the second tool that you can use to manage your anger is to change your self-talk. When you recognize that anger is arising in you, remember, emotions are energy in motion. So it's like, here's this emotion that comes up to let you know something's going on. So when anger arises, have that 1 second pause, that awareness to be able to ask yourself this very important question, like, what good can come from this? Because if there's any self-talk going on and it's negative, then it's not helpful. The only helpful self-talk you need to ask yourself in that moment is what good can come from this? And that automatically shifts you into a new mindset, which creates new self-talk, and you begin to search for the solutions rather than focusing on the problems. And we all know what you focus on expands. And so if we're in this frustrated, angry state, we're most likely focusing on the things that suck, right? So can you shift from that negative state and ask yourself this question, what good can come from this? And that'll automatically put you in a more elevated mindset to begin to search for the solution with more clarity.
Yeah, and once you change that self-talk, the next thing that you want to be able to do is to check your expectations. So often we get into a place where we expect certain things from certain people, and a lot of times what we lack is the openness and the honesty to communicate with them what our real needs are. And so we hold this anger about them and they can't even figure it out, especially if you're dealing with a guy, if you're a female or whatever, and you're dealing with a guy and you're holding a lot of resentment with all this expectation that you have, a lot of times he has no clue. I guarantee you. For the first few years of our relationship, I didn't understand it all. I have no idea. We're all walking around aimlessly and clueless until we figure things out. And so expecting another person to be inside your mind and to really understand what you're thinking of is going to take you verbally saying it. So if you're in a place where you've been so mad at somebody, but you haven't really told them, you haven't opened up, you haven't said, hey, when we go through this thing, this type of situation, it bothers me. Let's try it out this way, or let's talk about it and do it like this. If you haven't had those conversations, now's the time. Don't let that anger breed up and then build into something, bigger than it really needs to be. You can let the small things be small things, but the small things will turn into big ones if you don't communicate them.
Yeah, and people think that intimacy is all about sex, but what real intimacy is this open and honest communication. Because, we can have sex all day long with anybody we want, but if there's no trust and there's no honesty and there's no sense of feeling heard or seen or supported, then there's no intimacy there at all.
Yeah.
Whew, okay, the fourth thing that you can do to manage your anger is to move your booty, to move that energy around. Remember, emotions are energy in motion. So instead of brooding, right, when we sit and pout and it builds and builds and we get bigger ideas about how shitty it can be, instead of using our energy for positive creativity. If you want to shift not only your mindset, but the actual physical energy, start moving your body. Like, go work out. Go express that energy. Maybe you might need to yell it out or pound it out in the pillows. Whatever you've got to do, just start moving that energy and start being physical.
Yeah, this is so key. So many people think that if they just sit there, the anger will eventually go away, or that, something is going to happen, someone's going to walk in and save the day and all of that. But that's not going to be what it is. The problem is anger gets stored, and it gets stored in the body. And so if you want to get rid of it, if you've been mad about something for 10 or 15 years, just forgiveness won't do it. Just telling the person, hey, I forgive you, that's not enough. It's still in there. You just saying it, you just thinking it is not enough. You have to go through some sort of physicality. You have to go through some taking that energy and expressing it into some way. You can even do art, just something where you're moving your body, letting that pain be the entire way that you move.
Our friend Dara is creating a movement called aggressive art, where you actually can go and express all of those pent up emotions that are weighing on you through the creative expression of painting and color therapy. It's going to be so amazing. I can't wait to support her and see her build that. There's so many ways to be able to express your emotions in a healthy and uplifting way. And I hope that these 4 tools for managing anger will help you to think differently the next time anger arises in you. I'd like to know, out of these 4 tools, responding instead of reacting, or changing your self-talk, or checking your expectations, or just getting up and moving the energy, which one of these 4 tools is going to help you, that you're going to go to? Like, pick one of these and practice them, so that, say to yourself, the next time anger arises, I'm going to try immediately asking myself, what good can come from this? Or I'm immediately going to start doing some push-ups and bust out that anger, right? Like, what is that movement that you are going to choose, or that tool that you're going to go to manage your anger? We'd love to hear from you. Leave that in the comments below. And if you have any questions about this topic, we love hearing from you and helping you helping guide you. Mercury retrograde. I'm talking about communication. Hello. We love to help guide you through this process of letting go of some of these heavy burdens and angry emotions that maybe are clouding you from moving forward towards your dreams and goals.
I love it. I
love you, Mercury. Sandra says she's going to move the energy.
Yeah.
I love that. It's such a great way. I mean,
it's crazy how much better you feel too, because it's so simple. You just go run around the block a few times, but don't just run to run. Run and feel that emotion while you're doing it. Same way with the art. You can't just go in there and paint. The idea is not to do, because you can do anything, but you have to be in that aggressive mode to let the energy really consume you and then burn it away, because that's what energy is, right? You can transfer energy into different things. And so we're going to take the energy and transfer it into heat by moving our body. And so as it transfers, it'll finally get rid of us and go to a place. You'll know when you've done the whole work, when you get to that part where your physical body just goes, oh, and you feel those shoulders droop and sag, and you feel like that overwhelming, it feels so good to let it go. So make sure that when you're doing the energy, moving your body, get to a place where you feel that. So let it all come out. Don't just push it down. Well, I'm just going to jog a little bit, and then it won't be better. Like, be there, let it come out, like let it finally fully express itself, and then you'll feel so much wonderful. And it really is just to pinpoint you back to that path to love, that path that we know we're all always on, and that's the road that we really need to be on, especially if we really want to affect change in the world. So get off the anger road, hop onto the love road.
Yeah, instead of repressing that anger, try expressing it with one of these 4 tools. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Elevated Life. We love joining you every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you love this video or know someone who could use this message, please tag them or share it. We love spreading the good vibes and the good karma. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Elevated Life podcast. Want more? Join us at theelevatedlifeclub.com for mindset upgrades, lifestyle hacks, and spiritual tools to elevate your soul.
Each month features a new masterclass, meditation, yoga practice, and more to help you transform your life one step at a time.
Come join the 7 or Above Club.